Hello everyone, this is Nihal and let us solve 5th B question of 64th BPSC 2019 mathematics optional paper. So it says that covariant tensor has components as xy, 2y minus z square and xz in rectangular coordinates. Find its covariant components in spherical coordinates. So what we need to do is we need to find these covariant tensors component in spherical coordinates from rectangular coordinates. So in rectangular coordinates we have x1 is x, x2 is y and x3 is z. And in spherical coordinates we have x1 bar is r, x2 bar is theta and x3 bar is phi. That means and we have given the components a1 is xy, a2 is 2y minus z square and a3 is xz. What we need to find is their coordinate transform into spherical coordinates. So these tensor transform into spherical coordinates, and coordinate transform law is given as ai bar is equal to a alpha delta x alpha upon delta x bar I, and this alpha runs over 1 2 and 3, so this is equal to a1 delta x1 upon delta x bar I plus a2 delta x2 upon delta x bar I plus a3 delta x3 upon delta x bar I. That means if we want to find what this question asks us to find a1 bar, a2 bar and a3 bar. These threes are transform of a1, a2 and a3 into spherical coordinate system. So let us first find a1. a1 bar, we replace I by 1, so here it will be 1, here it will be 1, here also it will be 1. So a1 bar is equal to a1 delta x1 divided by delta x bar 1 plus a2 delta x2 divided by delta x bar 1 plus a3 delta x3 divided by delta x bar 2. So let us replace a1, a2 and a3 as given in the question, and let us put x1, x2 and x3 also as xy and z. So it is a1 is given as xy delta x upon delta r plus 2y minus z square delta y upon delta r plus this is z square xz delta z upon delta r. Now when we see in the spherical coordinates what are these x, y and z in spherical coordinates. So if we say this is x, this is y and this is z, let us p be a point with coordinates p as x, y and z. Then this let us angle with this is z axis, with z axis be theta, and its a p is projection on xy plane be this q, and angle of q with respect to x is, let us assume this is phi. Then what will be the its z component? It will be z is equal to, let this be r, so r cos theta. And what will be the this oq? Oq will be r sin theta. So its x component will be r sin theta and cos phi, and y component will be r sin theta and sin phi. So Let us replace these x, y and z component in this equation. So what we will get, x is equal to r sine theta cos phi, and y is equal to r sine theta sine phi, and what will be del x upon del r is equal to cos sine theta cos phi. So it will be sine square cos square phi plus 2y 2 r sine theta and sine phi minus z square r cos theta का whole square, and del y by del r will be sine theta and sine phi plus xz. So x is r sine theta and cos phi into z is r cos theta, and delta z upon del r is cos theta. So it will become cos square theta. So a1 bar is equal to r square sine cube theta cos square phi and sine phi plus this is r and 2 sine theta sine phi minus r cos square theta and multiplied by sine theta and sine phi. Here we have taken r outside, and this will become r square sine theta cos square theta and cos phi. Let us this be a equation 1. So we have transformed a1 into a bar 1. Now let us find a2 bar. A2 bar is equal to a1 delta x1 upon delta x2 bar plus a2 delta x2 upon delta x2 bar plus a3 delta x3 upon delta x2 bar. Let us put values of a1, a2, 3 and x1, x2, x3. Then we will get xy delta x upon delta theta plus 2y minus z square and delta y upon delta theta plus xz and delta z upon delta theta. So what are these x, y and z is in spherical coordinates? X is equal to r sine theta cos phi, y is equal to r sine theta sine phi, and z is equal to r cos theta. So let us put these values in formula of a2 bar. It is equal to r square sine square theta sine phi cos phi. I have simplified in short, and this del x upon del theta will become r cos theta and cos phi plus 2y minus z square will become r2 sine theta sine phi minus r cos square theta, and this del y upon del theta will become r cos theta sine phi. So this will become r square cos theta into sine phi, and plus x into z will become r square sine theta cos theta, and this is cos phi, and del z upon del theta will become minus r sine theta. So this would become minus and r cube and sine square theta. So this is our a2 bar. Let us find a3 bar. It is equal to a1 delta x1 upon delta phi plus a2 delta x2 upon delta phi plus a3 delta x2 upon delta phi. So let us put x1, x1, x2 and x3, a1, a2 and a3. This will become xy delta x upon delta phi plus 2y minus z square delta y upon delta phi plus this is xz delta z upon delta phi. So let us put x, y and z in this equation. So what we get, r square sin square theta sin phi cos phi, and delta x upon delta phi will become minus r sin theta sin phi. This will become 2r sin theta sin phi minus r square cos square theta multiplied by delta y upon delta phi. So we know y is equal to r sin theta sin phi. So what will be delta y by delta phi? It will be, instead of sin phi, it will become cos phi. So let us write this r sin theta cos phi, and what is x into z? This is r square sin theta cos phi multiplied by cos theta, and what is delta z upon delta theta? It is 0. So this term will be cancelled, and this can be written in short, minus r cube sin cube theta sin square phi and cos phi plus 2r square sin square theta and sin square phi, and minus r cube sin theta cos square theta and sin phi. So these are a1, a2 and a3 bar. These are transformed into spherical coordinate system. So this is the answer, guys. Thank you very much. You can join Telegram channel for the update, and you can ask your doubts there related to BR PCS exam in December. Thank you very much.